Did you know that over 100,000 children are adopted in the United States annually? Adoption is when a person or a couple legally gain responsibility for a child and become their parent. Today I will be speaking about the different types of adoption and the process of adoption. I chose this subject because my brother is adopted along with 3 of my cousins. I already knew a good bit about adoption, but I furthered my knowledge by studying 2 journal articles and a website. The first journal article I studied is called The History of Adoption in the United States by Brumble and Cam. The second journal article I studied is International Adoption Among Families in the United States by Leslie Hollingford. The website I studied is www.adoptuskids.org. Now that we know a little about adoption, I'd like to inform you all of the different kinds of adoption. The first type of adoption we will be talking about is domestic adoption. Domestic adoptions are adoptions that take place in your home country. Domestic adoptions can be done privately or through an agency. Usually domestic adoptions are either open or closed. An open adoption means that the biological parents can have contact to the child, and sometimes even visitation arrangements are made. A closed adoption is the opposite. Legally, the biological parents cannot try to contact the child until they are 21 years old. The next type of adoption we're going to talk about is international adoption. International adoption is when the prospective parents are looking to adopt a child from another country. The process of international adoption is similar to that of domestic adoption except for travel arrangements. Usually the prospective parents will travel to the country their child is from and bring them home with them. Now that we know a little about the different types of adoption, I would like to tell you all about the process of adopting a child. Adopting a child is not as simple as it may sound. After the initial decision of adopting a child has been made, there are other things that must be done before the prospective parents receive a child to care for. The next step in the adoptive process would be applying for adoption. In this step, the prospective parents will go through interviews and do paperwork before they can move on to the next step. The next step would be conducting a home study. A home study is when a caseworker from the agency comes into the home of the prospective parents. According to adoptuskids.org, in the home study document, some of the things included are the background, education, employment, and experience of the prospective parents, along with the daily routines of the family. Information about the neighborhood and the home they live in is also included, along with the readiness and reasons for wanting to adopt. After the home study is conducted, it will be reviewed. After this, the potential parents will be notified, and they will know if they have been approved to adopt. If they have been approved to adopt, the next step will be being matched with the child and making arrangements to getting that child. Once the potential parents have their child, the final step in adoption is legalizing that adoption. This means that the adoptive parents will petition for adoption in front of a judge in court. In the state of Mississippi, this can take anywhere from 6 months to a year to be legalized. Today we have talked about the different types of adoption. We talked about domestic adoptions done both through agencies and privately. We've talked about open and closed adoptions as well as international adoptions. We also discussed the process of adopting a child. I'm very thankful for adoption because without it I wouldn't have my brother or 3 of my cousins. My brother was domestically adopted through an agency, and my 3 cousins were internationally adopted. My cousin Sam is from the Ukraine, my cousin Meg is from China, and my cousin Stella is from China. To show you all some pictures. This is my brother Nick. This is my cousin Sam. And this is Meg. And this is my cousin Stella. And they were all adopted when they were infants. In closing, I would like to thank you all for your time. I hope you enjoyed this speech and learned something about adoption. Now,
I'm supposed to introduce.
Well, I'm talking. Well, this is my audience. This is my mom, Carol. This is Elaine, Miss Linda. Can you see her? Okay, that's Miss Linda, and in the back, that's Miss Jennifer. This is my daughter, Adrian, and this is Miss Suzanne and Miss Linda Bradford. Oh, yeah. And here's another one. This is Miss Juanita.